But before we get into all that, for those of you who don't know us,
yes,
we have to introduce ourselves.
We got to.
That's right. Yes. I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Fan Plays Games. Woo! Yeah.
So we're gonna get into this top 10 list. And we want to just talk a little bit.
Top 10 games in the collection that they want people to play.
That's the criteria?
That's it.
But is that going to switch when you do your list? Because your criteria never stays the same.
Well, mine is, it's okay. It's okay.
So before we start, we need to get some things straight.
Yes.
There's a game that's been banned from your list.
No.
So it cannot be on your list.
It's never banned. It's never banned. It's never banned. It's never banned.
Did I hear something from Sam down there? We're banning a game that we're not having on the list.
No.
The game that shall not be named, like
no,
shall not be
it's going to be named. It's going to be named.
So we're not going to talk about that game.
Yes, it is.
But we're going to have some fun, and we just want to say thank you guys for coming out. It's so awesome to have this gaming convention here in Council Bluffs. Is it Council or Council? Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Yes.
Even though it's the Omaha convention, but we're at the MAC Center.
Yes.
What is it? Mid-America Center in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
What?
That's it.
You did it!
Yeah. So that is
But you got to introduce everybody now.
I'm not done.
What?
I'm not done.
You still talking?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we started gaming last night. For those of you who are online and those of you here, we started gaming last night. And we were playing some games with some of our friends, you know, Marcus Ross here, and we have another friend out here, Nathan Newman, who came from California.
Uh-oh.
Yes, we need to tell our family, you know, how you treat me.
No!
I want the family to know how my husband treats me with gaming. So we were doing a prototype. And so with the prototype, it's called Outrun the Bear. I guess I can tell them. It's about a bear. It's about a bear.
Yeah.
It hasn't come out yet. And my husband was just so eager to win this game that he threw me to the bears.
It's just a game.
He literally.
It's either me or you.
And that's what he did to me. So when we played,
it's me or you. And I want to go. I want to go. You were slowing me down. You were slowing me down.
I was on track.
But you wasn't coming. I was going.
So this is how he treats me. He threw me to the bears, but then the bears got him too.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Karma.
It got me too.
Karma. You know what they say about karma?
You know what it was?
What?
Mick pushed her to the bears, and then Starla trained the bears.
That's right.
Probably so.
But that's how the gaming has been going. We've been having a lot of fun. Just don't game with my husband. Well, I mean, you're safe.
No. We know how we. People know how we game. It's competitive.
Else is safe. I'm just not safe.
No, it's competitive.
Okay.
We always compete.
Yes, compete. But we had a lot of fun gaming.
Yes,
I wish you guys could be here. And those of you who are here, I hope you're having so much fun. I'm getting to the panel.
Okay.
And to my immediate left, we have Marcus Ross, who is a local board game designer, and his company is called Water Bear Games.
Yes.
And he has a lot of games, one called Discount Salmon.
That's fun.
That's some salmon you don't want, trust me.
No.
I've seen
some of them you don't want.
The game is fun, but you don't want they're on a discount for a reason. That's all I'm saying. They're on a discount for a reason.
Yes.
And then he has another game that is a lot of fun called Bees.
She likes that one.
And I love that one because it's got cute little bee meeples. But anyway, Marcus, what do you want to say?
You covered pretty much everything I was going to say, so thank you.
Okay. This is Marcus. Thank you. And right next to Marcus, we have Mandy from Happy Meeples. And you guys have Instagram, am I correct?
Instagram and TikTok.
And they talk about board games.
And they real funny. I mean, they be doing some stuff on that channel, boy. They funny. They are funny. Yeah.
We're not proud of it, but we are proud of it.
and I don't know why Sam is in between her and her husband.
There's going to be a fight later?
That is Sam. That's Sam.
Okay,
That's what we Sam is doing.
But for some reason, Sam from BA Games is here, and he's in between Mandy and Nate for some reason. I don't know why. Nick. Sorry, Nick. He's in between them. I don't know why. Maybe there was a fight. I missed it. I'm not sure. But Sam with BA Games, he has a really nice game called It's Not Nice.
It's not nice.
It's not a nice game.
Not
nice.
Not
say that. It is. Well, my husband and my son love it.
We love it.
It's called Cult of the Deep.
She don't want to play it. Well, see, family, it's strategy, deduction, and also a party game. But you piss everybody off. You know, it's great. It's great.
Which I guess I should play because whether it's that kind of game or not, you always do that.
Stab people in the back.
No, we do that all the time. So.
No.
Anyway, Sam, would you like to say anything?
If I add fairs to the game, will you feel
I don't know. It's a possibility. Anything else?
No, I just thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, that's
All
cool.
right, well, welcome, Sam. And last but not least, we have Nick from Happy Meeples, who is the husband to Mandy of Happy Meeples, which makes sense. So, Nick, you have anything you want to say?
No, you covered it. It's I'm very happy to be here. I'm excited. I have a very good list.
Okay.
I have a very good list.
All right, so thank you guys for being here. So we're gonna start this off right. We're not starting with you, sweetheart.
Oh, shit. No, we're going to do each person. We're going to do each
Yeah,
person.
we are,
Number one.
but we're not starting with you.
No, number 10. We're going to start with number 10.
Yeah, but the person who's gonna do that list first.
What? I know.
It's not you.
What I mean?
No,
no.
I already saw the
All
first
right.
one on your list. So anyway.
No, but it's not number 10, though. No, number 10.
But anyway, we're going to start this list off. We hope you like these games okay, let me tell you something about my criteria. I really thought about these games, and these games have a special meaning, which is why they're on my list. Now, my husband, on the other hand, I have no idea what criteria he used for this list, none whatsoever. Probably just something he liked, I don't know. But I'll tell you guys my meaning as I give you the list of the games that I think you should know. So let me go over this again. What is the top 10
games in your collection.
In your collection.
That you want people to play.
This was his subject.
Yes.
Because it's so convoluted. That's
Yes.
Whew.
Yes.
So anyway, okay, I guess I'll start with Marcus.
I couldn't limit myself to 10, so I have 13.
What?
See, we all have honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I have honorable mentions.
I got honorable mentions, too.
All right, so let's talk about these games, Marcus. What's on your list?
Number one. Start at 10. Excuse me.
want me to
Start at
start
10.
at number
Everybody do that
10?
10.
All right.
Okay, so
Everybody
10
do
or
that
13.
10. Start with number
10 or
10.
13.
Okay, first, what do you want to do?
I'll start at 10.
Okay.
Start at 10.
Okay, let's
Start
go.
at 10. Everybody do that number 10.
Okay.
My number 10 is Bees. It's my own game. I know.
Okay,
Look,
we
it's
told
shameless
Sam.
We
plug.
told Sam not to do
We
his.
told
You
Sam.
didn't tell me not to
We
do
sure
mine.
did not. We
did
should have
not.
told
You
you.
did not.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Honestly, it's a real-time dice rolling game. It's so much fun. You roll dice, you build beehive. It's great. And people should play it more.
Yes.
Okay.
I
All
brought
right.
it with me.
You brought. Some people can play it. Okay. All right. Who's next with the number 10? This is Mandy.
In no particular order.
Oh, okay.
because
All right, all right.
I can't do that to my games.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
you.
go with viticulture because I think it's probably one of my favorite worker placement games. I just love that you get like every process of, building your vineyard and then making your wine and then filling the orders. I just love that as it's all about the atmosphere, the whole game. But yeah, that's my number 10.
Okay. So Sam.
So I just take my list. So 10 through 1 is Cult of the Deep. No, but my number 10, which Cult of the Deep is great by the way. But my number 10 is actually kind of the opposite. It's actually I like Splendor.
Yes.
That's one of my
Yes.
That's a good one. Yeah.
because it just feels so good. Like it just flows. You just
It does.
chips away. You just kind of build this engine. You're just literally doing this same motion, but you just kind of get lost in it. I've played more games I can remember where we don't talk for 30 minutes. We're all just like staring at the board, just like doing the thing, and then like I won. They're like, wait, what? Like, oh, I got lost. I'm sorry. It's one of the things I just enjoy playing. It's very easy to get
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
The heavy tokens, heavy chips are great. It just feels good. I love it.
Yeah.
That's a good game. I like that one.
See, I got to prove it.
All right. Down on the end. Dick, what do you have?
So it was pretty hard to write a top 10 list because there's so much. I love all my games. I love, Return to Dark Tower and all the non-Return to Dark Tower games I have. Equally, whatever that is. So my 10 is Wasteland Express delivery service.
Nice one.
Really, I love the theme. There's not many, of this type of dystopian theme games are out there. And the only thing I regret is that it takes a very long time to play. So it's one of those games you have to plan like a whole weekend to play. But that's my number 10.
Okay. That's a good one as well.
Yours.
Okay.
Yours.
I'm like Mandy. I didn't put mine in any particular order per se.
Okay.
But I will give you the one that's in the 10 spot on my list.
All right.
And that is Survive, Escape from Atlantis.
Okay.
Stronghold Games love this game, and I love it because when we started playing it, we played it as a family, and my family is cutthroat. So we would always try to make sure people got left behind.
People die.
So with
People
this game,
die.
you're trying to escape this island that's going to blow up from a volcano. You're putting people on a boat. And so I would like to get my boat filled with my people, and then my husband would always want to try to get on the boat.
Yes.
He wants to get on my boat,
All of y'all
Grant's
boats.
because if he's on our
Spread the love.
If he's on our boats, he know we won't sink them.
That's right.
But Grant,
now
on the other
Grant,
hand,
this one over here.
if you get on his boat, he will sink his own boat.
He said, if you get on my boat, I will sink it. I'm like, oh. Really?
So we would have so much fun playing this game.
Yes, we did.
And we would laugh till we cried about
Yes.
people trying to get on boats and trying to get off the island and trying to move around. So that's one of my favorites, and it's something I want families to enjoy because, again, I would be in tears behind mostly these two.
Yes.
And then me not letting you on my boat.
Yes.
Yes. But
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Is it my turn? Yes. Okay, you ready?
I don't think so, but okay. Go ahead. The one that's not.
No, that's later
Oh
on.
my goodness. You do not need the mic close
Yes,
to
I do.
you. You
Yes,
are
I do.
too-
Undaunted everything. Yes, there we go. There we go. There we go. Everything undaunted. Just bring it all out. By Restoration Games, Undaunted is a 2 to 4 player, but it's really 2-player game that you can kill each other. I love it. And it's card driven, and I love it. Undaunted everything. Everything. Every one of them.
So,
Yes.
So
there
that's
you go.
all 10. That's one slot.
That's all. Everything they bring out,
So
I want.
that's one slot.
I don't care.
Okay,
Whatever.
all right.
Yes, that's one slot.
All right, Marcus, let's look
Yes.
at your number 9.
Yes.
My number 9 is Dice Miner. Just
Yes,
Dice
love
Miner.
Dice Miner.
You just draft dice off a mountain, and if you need more explanation than that, you're not playing the same games I do.
Okay, let's go down the line.
All right, so I'm gonna be hated by Starlight here really quickly. I put Terraforming Mars,
Yes!
Ares Expedition.
Oh, okay. All right, that just went the other way. Okay.
Calm it down, people. Calm it down.
All right.
Sometimes during a week you want to play your bigger, heavier games, and you're like, I really don't have the time to play it. Double player boards. I mean, that's enough to buy a smaller one, right? Okay, so if you like the card part of Terraforming Mars, you get all the cards. I think that's a great part of it. But it's more colorful. You can play it in a shorter amount of time. I love both Terraforming Mars and Ares Expedition, but I think that more people that we play with would play Ares Expedition versus the bigger version of the game.
Okay.
Better friends. Die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I actually blame myself because I forgot to put that in the criteria that game should not be on a list.
It's gonna be on the list. It will be
It
on the list.
it gets on every show.
It is a
for some reason.
well-loved game. Leave it alone.
This is the thing.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Sam.
All right, so my number 9 for my list, I'd like to focus on who I recommend games to. And so what do I find myself recommending? Because I have a lot of games, and it's hard to break down. So what I did, though, I kind of that. And so for me, my number 9 was Century Golem Edition. Because the Spice Road doesn't do it for me. It's got to be the Golem Edition.
We like spice. We like spice.
The spice is good, but they're just cubes. But they have like the actual crystals and the colors and the cool.
I agree.
I'd rather just giant golems. So I really like Century Golem Edition. That's my go-to. It's one of those games where it's really easy to play. The gameplay is like, oh, grab a card, play a card. Okay, that's it. That's what you're doing. But it's intricate, like doing the trading and all the stuff. Because I remember as a kid, we used to do, take a paperclip and go around the neighborhood, like try and turn the paperclip into a pencil to like something bigger, like maybe like an old couch. And they did the old couch, and so you actually constantly try to trade up the item. And that's what Century Golem reminds me of.
Okay.
That's cool. I wish I did that when I was a kid.
Someone
did that as kids.
Someone actually,
What's that come out on Kickstarter?
someone actually did it with a house once. Yeah. They actually got a house,
Okay.
which I did not do that, unfortunately.
You're not the person.
I wish.
Wasn't their house either.
So no one likes diet Terraforming Mars, huh?
Apparently.
So my number 9 is it's a really like laid back game, and one of the reasons I like it so much is because there's some kind of role play RPG elements in it where you can do voices, and that's above and below. There's moments in there where you get to read part of a story, and you get to, if you are if you are up to it, you can do voices and characters, and I just really like that about the game. So.
That's a good one. I like that game too. All right, is
You
it
guys
my
watching
turn?
this so you can
Yes.
practice?
Okay,
Yes.
so it's my turn. Okay, another game that we played in the beginning, and I keep going back to the older games because those are the ones that I remember so fondly, and that is Lords of Waterdeep. Love that worker placement game.
Worker placement 101.
Worker placement, love it. I even like the theme, and I'm not a big Dungeons and Dragons person, but I love this particular version of it. I love it. So Lords of Waterdeep, we had a lot of fun. Another one of those where, you know, you laugh till you cry because, you know, people are trying to reach goals. You don't know what their
You're
secret.
trying to attack folk. You're trying to attack folk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Given mandatory quests when they're not necessary. We actually played that at Cardboard
Yes, we
Caucus,
did.
and my husband did that to me too. He gave me a mandatory quest. So my husband gave me a couple of mandatory quests. What did you do to
gave
stop
me
me?
a bunch.
Okay, we have a theory when we play. The theory
that?
is don't start none.
Yes, that's what
won't be
y'all tell
none.
me. Yes, that's what y'all
But
tell me.
my husband
Don't
always
start none, it won't be none.
he always starts, and then when I
gotta
come back
attack.
and retaliate,
I gotta attack.
so that's Lords of Waterdeep for
I
our
gotta
family.
attack.
That's how we play it. That's my number 9.
Oh, is it my turn?
Number 9.
All right, it's my turn. Number 9. What? It's not there yet.
I'm
Not there
waiting.
yet.
I'm
Not
waiting.
there yet. My number
See the
9
bridge over there.
is Catan everything. There we go. There we go. Everything. Yes. Catan for days and nights. Yes. Yes.
So your number's 9.
Yeah, my number's 9,
Yes, a whole bunch of-
but it's the family. It's the Catan family.
Family.
Yes.
The whole family.
From the beginning to the
Everything that
end.
they-
Yes,
yeah.
everything.
And that's just one spot.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. Catan. Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
recommended 30 games.
Yes, I did.
Exactly.
Yes, go get them. Yes, any one of them. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so now we're at number 8.
Yes.
Marcus.
My number 8 is Letter Jam. It is oh, you don't like it because it's cooperative. But it's got the Hanabi element where the cards that you have are facing the other players and you're spelling words and they can't see the letters that are in front of them. They can see everybody else's letters. It's great. And I think it needs to get played more. And I
Yeah.
got the extra chip and everything, so I get the 9 letter cards. Yeah, it's good. It's people should play it more.
Okay.
What's your number?
Does this look like I have a problem? I'm just wondering.
That's good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Well, I had a hard time choosing. Okay. So my number 7,
8.
8.
8,
Ocho.
8. All right. We're gonna go 2017 on this one. Tiny Epic Quest.
Yes. That's nice.
You guys like
That's cool.
Game Line games, Tiny Epic games?
Yes. Yes.
I really like this one out of all of the Tiny Epics that we've played, only because it has the push your luck aspect to it of like you're going up against these goblins and you're like, should I go one more round or not? And you're kind of counting down the goblins, but during the adventuring phase, you're kind of setting up for the nighttime, and so it's just kind of 2 different phases, and you just don't know. You're pushing your luck, you're rolling dice, and the farther you get into it, there may be problems. You might start losing more health, and I really like that game.
That's cool.
Okay.
I have all the tiny epics mostly, so yeah, I like that one. That's cool.
Everything.
Yes.
I have almost everything except for
Pretty much, yeah.
tactics. I didn't want tactics.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah, but I got everything else. And then the one that's coming. I don't know.
I don't
Dungeon.
Vikings. Vikings is coming.
I have no idea.
Vikings. Waiting on
So
Vikings.
that's coming.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's coming. Yeah.
Have
Yeah. That's on its way.
And he's talking to me like I know what's coming.
spending.
That's coming. Yeah.
Sam?
All right, for my number 8, I like to start them off nice and light with Splendor and Century, and then jump directly into Dwellings of Eldervale. So, for those who don't know, Dwellings of Eldervale,
jump.
1 to I think it's 5 player, if I remember correctly. Usually we play with 3 or 4, but beautiful game, nice big box. The whole idea is that you're having this like your group, like the goblins or the fire goblins, whatever, and you're going out and you're trying to create these dwellings and fight bosses, and very colorful, ton of fun, worker placement with a lot of aggression. But yeah, it's good times. Dwellings of Eldervale by one of my favorite designers, Luke Laurie.
My number 8, excuse me, is Circadian's First Light. by Garfield Games. I really like the theme of the game, and it doesn't feel like you're actually playing against people until the end of the game, but it's not cooperative. There is a clear winner, and there's multiple ways to get those victory points. So it's kind of like open world almost. You get to do certain things to get victory points, or you talk to the alien races to mediate peace to get victory points. And I just really like the way it plays. So that was my number 8.
Okay.
My number 8 is Ticket to Ride. Not everything.
It could be everything.
It could be,
It
but
could
I
be.
went with the original because, again, this is Days of Wonder.
Yes.
I just think that it's something that people can relate to if they're new to board gaming, and if you've been in the hobby. For me, I don't get tired of it, so I can sit down and play Ticket to Ride at any time. So I just think it has that evergreen feel to it, where you can just sit down and play it at any time, and it's easy to teach, easy to learn. We've had fun with it in our family, and I want people to know more about Ticket to Ride.
Okay, cool. So now it's mine?
Yes.
All right. So number 8. I didn't go crazy. But actually I'm with Nick with Above and Below. Yes,
Good
by
one.
Red Raven Games.
Yes.
I mean, we had so much fun. It's basically it's kind of a worker placement, and it's just you're on an adventure. I mean, you basically just go on an adventure. You know, it's a storyboard where you go somewhere and you try to go into dungeons and stuff, and you read, like stories about where you're going. I mean, it's just so much fun because I would make the voices.
Yes,
Try
I
to
like to do
change up.
voices.
I like to change it with the voices.
Yes.
So it's just so much fun. So
I agree.
Above and Below, Red Raven Games, and then the world he created was just so cool because
RZ.
then you have all these other games that connect to that world. What is that? Outbound, and then Near and Far, and now what is the last one? What is the last one? Well, no, that's not connected.
Now and Never.
Now and Never, yes. Now and Never, that's another one. So, I mean, I just love the world he created. So, yes. So, but I would introduce people to Above and Below. Because you can't
I
get,
agree.
yeah, I think
it's
that's
not
one of the
hard.
best.
I agree.
No,
It's not
one of the
hard.
best.
I like
It's
that
one of
one.
the best.
Okay, that was a good choice, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Number 7, Marcus.
Okay, my number 7 is going to require some explanation. My number 7 is a game called The Depths of Durangrar. I have not actually played it, but it is in my collection. And
How you going to recommend something you haven't
Somebody recommended it to me, so I just put it on the list.
played
Ten
it?
games in your collection you want people to play.
Well, shoot, I got 20 that I want to play that I haven't
In your collection. This game now.
Okay, let's.
All right. So
played. All right, explain that.
it is a dungeon crawler.
Okay.
Okay.
One player is the dungeon, everyone else is adventurer.
Okay.
You play the game in total darkness. So all of
What do you mean? Everybody turn off the
You
lights?
turn off the lights.
Okay.
All the player meeples have a little LED in the base, so it illuminates the part of the dungeon that you're in that you can see, and that's as far as you can see.
Okay.
The dungeon master is moving the monsters around using a hook and night vision goggles. Okay?
What is
That
that?
actually sounds pretty amazing.
I want to play it.
This
I
is the
want
reason
to.
Kickstarter exists.
That can't
I
be
saw
a
It's a
that
$400
here's my
game.
money.
Yeah,
I don't
seriously.
care if I ever get it. I need to have backed this.
All right. Raise your
I have
hand. Who would
received
play it?
military
Who
grade.
would play it? Look at
I
this.
need a dark room.
Yes.
Okay.
Military grade
Top
night
that.
vision goggles.
Okay.
I will not top
It's a
that.
$1,400 game.
That is cool.
I'm going 2019 with cartographers.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite rolling rates. I like that you can play it with tons and tons of people. You can play it with people online over Skype. You can play it with lots of people. So it's one of my favorites. And I like using colored pencils.
That's cool.
All right, so I just rewrote my list again. Like, top 10 games I never played, but I really want to with night vision goggles.
That's a very specific list.
Yeah, with night vision goggles. I'm trying to think of other games. I think it was Spectre Ops. Spectre Ops. Anything like something like that? Yeah, I try to think of some of. But yeah, no. So the next game that I like to share with people, specifically people, because I play a lot of Warhammer 40K and stuff like that. So sometimes you just need a good fighting game, something that causes a lot of anger, lots of dying. And so, what better game than a game I can never say in a normal voice, which is Blood Rage. I can never, Nerd Rage. That happens sometimes, yes. But yeah, Blood Rage, really fun game. 2 to 5 with the expand. I think you need a special 5th player faction, but 2 to 5, ton of fun, lots of fighting, lots of Vikingness. Yeah, and it's even great because even what's interesting that Eric Lang did was you can even have a strategy where you die a lot and it gives you victory points.
Yeah.
And so you're like, yes, kill my dude. You're like, I don't want to kill you anymore.
You're like,
do it now. You're like, oh, okay. And so it's really a back and forth. Like, do I want to fight the guy? Do I really want to? And so a ton of fun. Blood Rage.
Yes, cool.
Okay.
We're on 7.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Mine is Galaxy Trucker by Chet Games. I really like the game because as the first phase of the game, it's real time. Nobody's taking turns. You're just with one hand digging in to try and find parts for your ship so that you can hopefully survive the next phase in traveling through space. And inevitably, no matter how well your ship is built, parts fall off. And I think that that's just a lot of fun. So.
He says that, but when we play it, he is furious. That's not what's supposed to happen.
So it's because you missed that one piece, and then the meteor happens to hit that piece, and half your ship falls off because that was the one connecting point between both halves.
So you did have the night vision goggles.
Yeah, you need the
Yeah.
night vision goggles.
Try it in the dark.
Okay, so my number 7 is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Love that
That's a good
game.
one.
That's North Star Games, and you are a quack doctor, and you're making this potion for people, and you've got this beautiful board that's a cauldron, and everything's swirling around, and you don't want to put in too many cherry bombs so it doesn't blow up. Love this game. Absolutely love it. I love the mechanics of it. I love the way the board looks. I mean, the art was just so into the theme. So, Quacks, if you haven't heard of it, check it out. That's mine.
Okay. Mine now.
Okay.
Yes. My number 7, Marvel Champions, get everything. Yes. Get everything with Marvel Champions. There we go. Marvel Champions is basically Marvel in a box. That's it. You know, card playing, you know, drafting. I love it. Love in a box.
Yes.
I know it's a living card game because they give you all the, you know, different cards. You know, it's you know, you go down a rabbit hole, but I'm there. I love it. Keep it coming. There we go. My number 7, Marvel Champions.
Okay. Marcus, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Pictures. It is a party game where you get a photo. There'll be a grid of 16 photos, and you get a chip that tells you to recreate one of them, and you have to recreate it with random garbage. It might be sticks and stones. It might be some rope, and you just have to do the best you can, and the other players have to guess what you've drawn, what you've tried to render with your random assortment of garbage. It is
Pictures.
hilarious, and when you, like tonight, if it's like 1 a.m., that's about the time you pull that out. I'm like, all right.
Pause.
Let's see how good you are.
This is what I was thinking about doing.
Uh-huh.
Question from the online that I think would be relevant to what you mentioned.
Okay.
Someone online is named Ember Elbon, or Elbin, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Elbon. She asks, do you think a 9-year-old could play Marvel Champions?
Yes, definitely. Do it. Get everything and play with it.
Get one
Everything.
See if the kid likes it.
No.
Then get everything.
Everything.
Kabuki Kid, hey,
Just
hey.
blindly buy everything.
What she mentioned
Nick
was
suggested I spend
Marvel
$500
Champions,
on
everything
Marvel
costs how
Champions,
much?
and my kid doesn't.
Kabuki
my
Kid,
kid's
don't be
PC
doing
kid.
that. Don't you do that. Don't.
Backtrack.
Don't. Get the base game at least. Get the base game.
Yeah.
That it? All right, so now we're on to Mandy.
Okay, so my next one is from 2014. I'm gonna go with 5 Tribes.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
our only Arabian themed game, which I really love. I love the artwork, and it's our only game that we have with the Mancala mechanic. So I really like that. I haven't played with any of the expansions yet, so that's something. I also like that all the components have that wood, all the
Yes,
wood,
yes.
candles and palm trees and all that stuff. So.
It's been the best choice of the day so far. 5 Tribes. Just saying.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes. That's the
Looks
best
like she can
choice.
retire
So
now.
honorable Starlet Awards.
Like if you're eating and Happy Meeples.
So I feel like Mick, your list is like a sponsored by a game store.
No.
Named
No.
everything.
No. We just feel, you know, we know each
Game
other.
store enthusiast clapping every time you say
I
something.
know.
Yes,
We got
buy
that connection.
everything,
We got
all
that
of it.
connection.
But we have it here.
We got that connection.
Say
Order
things
now.
are $700 or more.
They're actually
You'll
gonna
get
play
more
that
points.
tonight.
I feel like I need to change my list again.
Yes.
All right. So for my number 6, this was a game that it was my first adventure into something a little heavier. I wouldn't say it's like a really heavy game, but it was definitely more than like a Splendor for me. So this game I really loved for a long time. It's from my favorite designer, Luke Laurie. It's the Manhattan Project Energy Empire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a little older, but I really just love the idea of it and the worker placement where you can actually stack your workers with more workers and energy, which can deny from people, or if you really want it, you can spend all the power and you can go there anyways. So it's got some interesting elements of that. And I just love the kind of almost like a Cold War energy theme with the UN and everyone's fighting, duking it out, trying to figure out like who's going to get the most energy and get the stuff. Really enjoy it. If you get a chance, check it out. Energy Empire.
Okay, so my number 6, I'm not too keen on games that the developer just reskins it with another theme to try and make more money. Like Monopoly, you see it all the time with like, oh, look, now it's Marvel Monopoly and all that, which Nick has.
No, I do not.
But I was really pleasantly surprised with this one. Mandy mentioned it to me a year ago, and I wasn't, as a male, I was not paying any attention. And I heard the name and I said, just get it. And it turns out it was a themed game from Pandemic, from Z-Man, and this is Wrath of the Lich King. They did a really good job of not making it feel like it's Pandemic, just with new models. It really hits home with that Lich King. If anybody's played Warcraft or any of that, it really does a good job of being its own game. I also think it's really fun, even if you're not into Warcraft or any of that theme, because it's still got that fantasy dwarves and elves and everything too. So that was my number 6, Wrath of the Lich King.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be really quick because my number 6, like I said, was the best thing on the list from Andy. It is 5 Tribes.
Yes.
Enough said.
Enough
Mancala, fun, colorful. Yes. That's it.
My number 6, 5 Tribes.
Wow.
3
5 Tribes.
in the same
Yes.
spot.
Yes. Love 5
All
Tribes.
of
Because
them.
you know, family, you know, when men started to play 5 Tribes, it's blood on the table, the walls, the ceiling.
There's only
everywhere.
one tribe when you leave.
And then I had tragedy with 5 Tribes. I had a tragedy family. It was hard family. One time, I played 5 Tribes, and I won. The next time, Stacy, we got played, I was beaten. But then I was beaten 19 more times in a row. Twitchy had a 20-game winning streak with 5 Tribes. That was tragedy. Tragedy.
But you didn't tell them what happened at Cardboard Caucus. We played 5 Tribes there too. I think you lost. I'm not.
Yeah, I did. I lost.
I'm just saying.
I lost.
Why would you play a game you can't win?
Because I'm going to win it. I'm going to win. I'm going to keep playing till I win.
My husband is optimistic, and I love that about him.
I'm going to win.
Who
But I
taught
did-
the game?
Huh?
Did you teach the game or did Star?
He taught the game.
Okay,
He
so
teaches
you
all
should
the
be
games.
proud of your wife that she picked it up and that she enjoys the game.
And then she
But
beats
she
you
wins
at-
all the time.
I feel like at some point Mick's going to say, and let it be known, no one beats Mick 25 times in a row and lives to regret it. They'll ruin it.
It was just horrible. It
So
was
5
horrible.
Tribes, 3 lists. Yes.
But we do love it.
We love it.
We have all the expansions and everything. We got everything.
Yes.
Yes, we love it.
Everything.
All right, so
Yeah,
we have
everything.
Number
Everything.
5. Okay.
Number 5.
My number 5 is Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Oh, okay.
The combination of Between Two Cities and the Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Yeah.
Just a lot of the good mechanics from both those games mashed together, and I love it. It's a well done game.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like
Yeah.
a jeweler's loop to play it, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe some of you have heard of this. I don't know, but came out this year. Framework.
Framework. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Have you played Nova Luna? No. So it's kind of like a re-implementation of Nova Luna.
Oh really?
And every tile that you draft or you pick out is a task. And putting task tiles next to each other give you different end game scores. So you're constantly just building out this big grid with tiles that all have tasks that you could complete every task if you tried hard enough. But it's really gratifying to put everything next to each other and just watch your score go up. So.
That's cool.
So I just wanted to say, Nick, when you said Wrath of the Lich King, I was beginning to say pandemic everything.
That's all right. You can say that.
Sponsored by.
Z-Man game.
How much has Matt Leacock paying you?
Seriously. So if anyone's watching, I am open for sponsorships, and my list will change. Depending.
Thanks, Ton.
I'm watching my email account. And
All right, so my number 5 is probably the last of my lighter games, but I made it all the way up there because this game, I bring it with me everywhere. Any convention, if you see me, I will have this game on me somewhere, in my car, in my backpack, wherever it's going to have this game. It's a little beat up. I just got to get another version now, but I've only had it for like a year. But that game is Kohaku by 25th Century and is it Gold Seal, the Golden Seal game.
Yes, go see.
That game is it's very simple. It's just a tile, and you got to pick a fish and a feature in your pond, and you just build your pond. And you score depending on how those fish interact and different features in that pond. But it just works, and it's colorful. No matter what, you're geared toward creating rainbows and just a look. And the one thing I'm really mad about is I didn't know about the Kickstarter until later, where they had the deluxe ones where the fish are under clear acrylic, so they actually look like they're underneath the water.
Yes, we have that. It's
so
beautiful.
mad.
It's beautiful.
That's on my. So if anyone knows where I can find a copy of that, let me know. That's one I will deluxify the heck out of it, and I'll do it. Kohaku. It's simple, but man, it's just so good.
Number 5 for me is Scythe by Stonemaier Games. Very steampunk, style game, alternate history, and area control and combat, and I just love everything about it. I rarely win. I haven't lost 20 times in a row, but I rarely
It's
win.
getting up there. It's getting up there.
I do write about my wins in my diary, but
His diary is not very
it isn't
big.
very often.
Calm down now. Calm down.
But no, Scythe
Calm
is,
down.
Scythe is my number 5. It's a game we love teaching people. We love seeing, once we get it all set up, their eyes are like so huge because they're like, there's so many components. And then once you start teaching them, then it just clicks. Turn 2, it clicks, and they know what they're doing, and it's just it's a really fun game.
Okay.
Oh, Scythe everything. Sorry.
Yes. I like that.
Well, I've had second thoughts on my number 5. I have a game written down for number 5, but then after Sam mentioned Kohaku, I got a little upset with myself that I didn't remember Kohaku, and it's one of my favorites.
But you gotta say what you have on the list, though. You gotta keep going.
You can change it.
I'm kicking it off. No,
You gotta keep going.
On my list, I have Catan.
Okay.
And it's our favorite because it's the game that really opened our mind to the modern board
Yes, it
game
did.
hobby.
Yes, it did.
We love playing it as a family. I love it, but now I'm kind of upset that Kohaku didn't make my list, and I love Kohaku as well.
Sounds
but
like an honorable mention.
honorable mention.
Yes, honorable mention.
Honorable mention. But Catan is my number 5.
Okay. Mine?
Yes.
Okay. Now, my number 5 that I love, and I have to say, clank everything. Clank everything, from the legacy to everything. Clank. Now, what Clank is that you're a thief, basically, going into a cave or somewhere else that they have you going into, because there's a bunch of maps and stuff for it, and you're trying to steal stuff, but you gotta steal stuff and either stay in there, push your luck and stay in the cave, or get out. Because somebody else might be trying to get out, and you gotta get out before you die. Because you're getting attacked all the time for the dragon.
Yeah.
And it's basically it's Dominion with a board. That's what it is. Because you're basically just drafting, building your card deck and everything. It's a deck builder with a board, and I love it.
And you love getting eaten by the dragon.
Yeah, because you always be leaving too
You
quick.
get left-
Why you leaving so quick? I just say stay. Why you
Doesn't even
leaving
go
so
into the
quick?
caves.
That's
Why you greedy?
First one to move out.
Why you trying to go?
Be greedy.
You always be leaving
He
out.
loves this game because, again, he gets greedy and gets a backpack and tries to give more
Yes.
treasures and stuff.
Yes.
And while he's getting his
You got a
extra
backpack
treasures,
last time, but you said, "Well, I'm getting beat up. I'm going to leave." I'm like, "Why? You be okay.
But I won the game though.
Yeah,
you got to insist it up. Look, you got to know when to leave.
But I wanted to stay because it was.
But you got to know when to leave.
But there was more stuff down there.
But see, that's the problem. You got to know when to leave. What is that song by Kenny Rogers? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away,
yet. I didn't want to fold.
and know when to run. Okay, all right.
I wanted to stay in.
Then that's why.
But that's mine. Clank everything. Yeah.
Okay. Marcus, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is High Rise. It is a
Oh.
formal ferret game from 2020. The
Yes.
first time I put out a game ever. It is a game that takes the Tokaido mechanic where you can move as far along the board as you want, and you take that action, and then everybody behind you just catches up. You are building skyscrapers, and if you do corrupt actions, you can build your skyscrapers faster and better. And you're trying to build the tallest skyscrapers on the board, and it's fantastic game. I have not gotten a chance to play since it was prototype. So I've got my regular, ready-to-go copy sitting next to my table waiting for people to come to my house.
Now, we've actually played that. And we like it.
I've actually played it. I do like it a lot,
Yeah,
but
we
I
like
want to play my full retail versions.
You've actually opened that retail version?
I have opened and, yes, it's all.
Smelled it? Okay.
I've done, look,
New box.
I'm still waiting on, like, there's, like, plastic pieces that are coming to replace the chipboard towers that go maybe about this high. So, yeah,
nice.
I'm waiting for that. That's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be
that'd
great.
be good.
Your number.
My number 4 goes all the way back to 2011, which you guys talk about Catan being your game.
Catan, Catan.
That kind of got
Catan.
you into.
Catan, thank you, Catan Studios. It's Catan. We love y'all.
We're in the Midwest. It's Catan.
One of our first like
It's Catan.
modern games that we played that really kind of got us into it was Castles of Burgundy. So get beyond what the box looks like, and it's actually a really good game. And, I can't say this loud enough. I
No heckling from the
cannot
audience.
wait for the game found version of Castles of Burgundy. It's so beautiful. But yeah, I just love it, and I love when you get to a point in the game where you know what your opponent is going for, and you're like, can I just take it just to make them mad? Or do I need to actually use something else? And after I made this list, I think one thing that I found that I like in a lot of games is bonus points and end game scoring, that like, you get those extra bonuses at the end. And that's one of the things is like, you think you're the winner, and then it's like, let's count up those points, and then I come out on top.
That is true. That is true. That's true. That's a good one.
Thank you.
And that's why I sit between the two. All right, so for my number 4, this one came out recently, and I was not familiar with his games at first, and now I think I'm a huge fan, and that is with Glenn Drover, and that is Lizard Wizard. I went all in on the deluxe on this one, and man, it's so pretty. And as for me, it's a big bonus. If you notice, a lot of these games, they tend to be actually very pretty or have nice components. So Lizard Wizard is a lot of fun. It's pretty simple, but basically trying to do is like playing the market, trying to get those carrots up, and then you sell carrots, and suddenly the person next to you is mad at you because their carrots are now worthless. And so it's just kind of a lot of push your luck. There's different elements of the game. We're trying to match collect and do a lot of stuff. So I really enjoy Lizard Wizard.
Do lizards eat carrots?
Well, they're mandrakes technically.
Oh, okay. I was like, were they wizards that turn the carrots?
They're like little guys with little root hands, but they're like carrots with hands.
Mandrake carrots.
So Mandy mentioned the looks of Castles of Burgundy, and somebody in the crowd goes, "Well, it's ugly on the inside, though." I laughed pretty hard about that.
It's true.
Well, I didn't want to
That was
name
a heckler.
Heckler.
you for the
Heckler in the
crowd.
audience.
That's her.
It was
right
her
there.
right there.
That one is right there.
I didn't want to like
Becky
name you.
from
I
the game
just
shop.
wanted to
The
one's
point out it was
Heckler.
So my number 4 is Outer Rim by Fantasy Flight.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and this game felt
Watch, what is that? Andor? Watch it. Andor. Beautiful.
He's doing his
Get an
best.
insert.
Please continue.
the game really felt like Mandalorian before it came out, and I
Yes,
really liked
yes.
that feel where you have your own little personal quests and you get to upgrade your ship and have different cargo bays and stuff like that. So I thought it was really good.
Yes.
How much is the House of Mouse paying you? You've gone all in for Star Wars.
I love
You've gone
Star Wars.
all in for Marvel.
Yes.
I was thinking Council Bluffs was paying us, but they're not.
No.
Hello, Disney. My number 4 is Codenames, and this is a teams game. I like teams. I don't like co-op. She don't do co-op. So, sometimes she does. But anyway, this is by CGE. I love that it has these 2 teams. You got the red team, your blue team. You're trying to get your agents in, but you don't want to find that assassin. Now, we played this game online, and my husband and I were a team. We were online playing.
Was that
it
show?
Codenames?
Yeah,
they have a
Codenames
Codenames
Live.
Live
Yeah.
show. All I can say is you don't want my husband giving clues.
If you give the right clues, I can probably help out.
No clues. But that's okay. We did win.
We did win.
We did win. But
Twice, didn't we?
it was
Twice in a
yes,
row?
it was
Yeah.
tough. You got to think on a different wavelength with my husband. What? You said tree?
Well,
Oh, you
maybe
meant
so.
house. Okay, got it. Tree equals house. No, I'm just kidding. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. What's yours?
Yeah. Okay, mine actually is a newer game. It's Yak from Pretzel Games. It's Yak.
It's so cute.
And I'm going off the basis that if you have someone, a family that really doesn't like gaming and they don't know much about it, and like, wait a minute, you got kids, you like some cute stuff, like cute yaks, get Yak.
They're so cute.
And it's so cool. It's like it's a rondelle where you're taking these yaks going around, this rondelle, and you're taking, different, resources off those different yaks. And some yaks you can't take off a different resource because that's one that's kind of barred from that yak cart. And it actually has carts that roll around with the yak, and then it has a baby yak that's the first player.
And it's
It
so
is
cute.
a cool game. And I tell everybody, Pretzel Games hit it out the park with yak. So definitely check it out.
Such a cute game.
Great family game.
Yes.
Great family game.
All right, Marcus, number 3.
All right. Well, before I get to number 3, I'll just run through my honorable mentions. So I've got no thanks on my honorable mentions list because.
Oh, yes, we love that one.
Love no
Yes.
thanks.
It's on my honorable mentions list because I've played it a lot
Yes.
recently. Also on my honorable mention list for the same reason as Ladder 29.
Okay.
Is ladder climbing game with a firefighter theme. At the beginning of the round, everybody picks a card that gives you your own restriction for cards you can't play during the round. So that was pretty cool. And I've got QE on my honorable mentions list.
Yeah. That's cool.
Just betting any amount of money because that's hilarious. So, number 3 on my list, Twin Poems.
Yes.
Yes. It's a trick-taking game where you play 2 cards every trick, and the cards you play are suited, and if you play pairs, they're better than cards that are not paired together. And it's at the beginning of the round, you bet how many tricks you think you're going to take out of the entire set, and then you also can bet more chips on top of that. It's casual, light, fun. You can just sit around and play that on a Sunday afternoon. Just
Yes.
feels like
Over and over.
Over and over.
you want to
Yes.
have iced tea and a conversation, you can play this game. So it's usually fun. Your number 3.
My number 3 is a game that we got at the end of the year and is probably our most played game. It's a Wonderful World. And we have played this game so much because you're just drafting cards and like building up how you're going to get your resources. And I just love it. I love it so much. And little cubes are cute, and I don't know, I just love the game. But we played it the first day we got it, then we played it the next day, then we played it the next day, and then we played it the next week. And so I think it's one of those games that it has a predictable time, kind of like Wingspan. You just know how long the game is going to take, and so that's kind of why I like playing that game. Is you just know how long it's going to take. So
You get the premium upgrade bits for it. So you get those.
So were you the one with the 19 game win streak, or?
I have won at that game quite a bit.
No denial. Okay. All right. My number 3 is one I've gotten more recently, and one I really love playing with larger groups. So one of my big things, I'm one of 5 brothers, so I've always had a penchant for games that play 5 or 6 players. So this one does it really well and really quickly. So it's what's really nice about it is you can play it in about the same amount of time you would like a 3 or 4 player, and that's Planet Unknown.
Yeah, very good.
I love how the lazy Susan, which is actually the spaceship Susan,
Yes.
just kind of
Yeah.
moves around. But you're all
Space Susan.
simultaneously grabbing these polyominoes or these little Tetris pieces, and you're putting them to your planet, and you're trying to keep the meteors together so you can go collect them. But if you don't, they keep you from scoring, and it's just a ton of fun. And also, there's a lot of variety in the different corporations and different planets. Highly recommend it, and it's got double thick cardboard. I'm a huge fan of double thick cardboard.
Love that.
Anytime there's layering and put stuff in, I'm like, yes, I'm doing that. So Planet Unknown, really good, lots of fun. I recommend.
So most of my games that I enjoy are basically single player, and then you count up how many. There's not a lot of interaction or PvP or anything like that, except for this game. This game, Mandy had shown it to me a little bit under a year ago, and I didn't even know anything about it, but I loved the models of the game. I used to paint models way back when, and so I'm like, buy it. Even if we don't like the game, I'll paint the models someday. And that is Super Fantasy Brawl. I love that game so much because there's quests, like little side quests that you can worry about. It's direct PvP. You're planning out your characters and where your defensive guy is going to be and who you're going to attack, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's a very fast-paced game. There's not a lot of downtime between turns. You want to get started, so that's one I really like.
If you like making people mad during gameplay, you have to play that game. Because I am furious during the game. And then at the end of the game, I'm like, whew, it was a good game. But in the meantime, I am so mad. I'm like, don't come at
And
me.
your husband's crying. And
Yeah, pretty much.
I know I would.
That's
That's
every
couples
game.
problems.
Couples problem.
That's every game.
All right, my number 3 is Enchanted Plumes by Calliope Games.
Of course.
Love it, love it, love it. You're making this peacock with some beautiful, colorful feathers in the plume, and the main thing is your top row of your plume is what is going to be a negative, and then everything underneath that is the positive. So you got to subtract your top row. So you got to be strategic in what number values you put in your top row. And it's just a cute game. You can do one peacock and make it really huge, or you can do several smaller ones. Love the game, easy to teach. Every time we put it on the table, people have fun with it. Enchanted Plumes.
That was your number 1 for 2021.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
your number
love
1.
it.
Yeah. My number 3 is Splendor. I mean, it's a great game. I mean, this wonderful game. Yes.
Splendor, yeah.
Great
Every-
game.
everything.
Great
Every
family
Splendor,
game.
everything.
Everything.
Great gateway game. I mean, just
Only one expansion.
just building an engine
Somebody else had
builder.
Splendor.
There's no
Was
extent.
it?
It's just
You had
the one.
Splendor. That's
Yeah,
right.
Splendor. Yeah, Stan.
Yes.
But it's just a great game to have. I mean, you can play it 1,000 times and never get tired of it. So Splendor is my number 3. Yeah.
I went to number 2. No more honorable mentions, Marcus.
I got honorable mentions. I got some.
I did them all.
I got some.
All
I
right,
got some.
number 2, Marcus.
My number 2.
Oh, sorry. Okay, what's up?
Another one from Amber Elba, she said, what about Marvel Splendor?
Well, Marvel Splendor is okay, but I can really, yes, I can
Just a
really just stick
reskin
with
of the
Splendor.
same
I mean, I just love Splendor. Splendor is really cool, and I mean, they had the, the modules out, the expansion. Really don't need that. The basic Splendor is just a masterpiece. So yeah, that's all.
What
we
do you
need.
think?
So Marvel Splendor is a little different experience because you add the Infinity Stones and kind of some ideas there. But I actually like the base Splendor with the expansions because
Okay.
there's 3 different expansions
Yeah.
that come in one box, and it really one's more aggressive.
Yes, it
like
is.
you're putting strong. You're actually blocking people. But you also have ones where you gain power. So there's a tiny bit of engine or ability building.
Yeah.
And then the other one also provides a variety. Like the Oriental Market and stuff is really nice. So I actually like the expansion and just mixing and matching depending on how I'm feeling that day.
Yeah, yeah.
We're angry at each other. Like we're gonna duke it out over strongholds. No, this is mine. You can't take it.
Yeah.
So I like just the base game with the thing, but Marvel Splendor works pretty well too, especially if someone's a big Marvel fan. That's where you would go Marvel Splendor, but I personally like the base one more.
Any other questions? That's it? Okay. So,
Number 2.
I'm not sure if
Number
anyone
2.
heard that with the microphone over
Marcus
there.
is on number 2.
If I could replace every copy of Monopoly with my pick for number 2 from 1964, it'd be better. Acquire.
Yes.
Sid Saxon.
That's a classic.
Just like a perfect game, honestly. it's kind of hotel management. You're investing into hotels, and then when two hotel chains touch, they merge, and the smaller hotel flips into the larger hotel, and everybody who has shares trades them in for the shares of the new hotel, and you're just amassing wealth.
Oh.
And most money wins. It's great game. There is a 1999 version of this game that I do not own, but I want to own. It is about $300. I can't look it up. So. But if you have one just collecting dust
Please raise your
in your
hand now.
house,
We would like to know where
yes, just it's a great big purple box. It says Avalon Hill on it. If you just don't need it, I'll be happy to take it off your hands.
My number 2 is a 1 to 6 player game with Roman generals. Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I didn't know that I would love this game so much, but I talk about it all the time. And the first time we played it, it was like almost like a compulsive feeling of like, I gotta play it again. I'm addicted to this game. I gotta play it again. And it's just so gratifying to like mark something off your sheet, and then that lets you mark something else off, which lets you mark something else off, and you're kind of playing solo, but you're still trying to beat your opponent. And I just love this game so much. I know I've mentioned this game.
Yes.
I probably told you this already, but it's such a
I
good
wanted
game.
to mention, Jim Cletus from online said the game scares the crap out of him.
There's a lot to it.
It
for sure.
does look so overwhelming because you have the 2 big sheets and there's lots of like icons and stuff on it. We also have it in our game bag if anyone would like to play with us.
I didn't carry that game back in, so
But
someone's gonna play those
it's
games.
just so good, and every time we play it, we're just like, I want to play it again. There's only few games that I've played like that, and it's just from the first time I played it, I'm like, I love this game. So, Hadrian's Wall.
So question for you: Do you find that once you like kind of get the mechanics of that game down, that it's just really simple?
It's so simple. I mean, it looks so overwhelming, but once you figure out what you do to each turn, you can play it. It's so easy.
Yeah. So that's actually related to my number 2. It's by the same designers and companies, Garp Hill Games. It's Shem Phillips, and mine is kind of a lesser known version of a bigger title. So the big title is Raiders of the North Sea, but I like Raiders of Scythia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have that one.
Because what it does is it kind of takes all the expansions from all the, so instead of buying 3 different Raiders and put it together, Raiders of Scythia is a streamlined version of it that's contained with a reskin of Central Asia, which I'm a huge fan historically of the history involved in Central Asia. So Raiders of Scythia is really good. Shem Phillips, Garp Hill Games, and Hadrian's Wall is a good one too.
Well, the one thing I like about Raiders of Scythia is you put down a worker, and then you get to pick up a worker. Like, your turn is like, put one down, pick one up.
Yeah, super easy, but super hard.
Yeah.
You're like, you took what I wanted. Now I can't do that. I can't pick that one up, then these open for you.
Yep.
So yeah, really enjoy the Raider series, specifically Raiders of Scythia.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I like to say those games are complex but not complicated. There's a lot of rules. They're all simple rules. It's just a matter of getting your head wrapped around 25 rules that are very simple versus like 3 rules where you have to like gauge the time of day it is versus those types of games. My number 2, I actually had 2 of them in my second spot. One of them I am not allowed to say.
You can say it. You can say it. You can say it.
I won't say it.
You can say it.
I will say.
You can say it.
I'll say my other
Becky,
one.
no
which
heckling
is,
from the audience, please.
yeah.
Please remove yourself.
TM. So my number 2 that I'm allowed to say is Dune Imperium.
Okay, that's a good one, yes.
I'm a huge Dune fan. I've read 7 of the 12 books, and this game does so well with the theme and the imagination that Frank Herbert put into those books. It just really sits well with the game.
Yeah, it does.
Mandy does not like the way it looks.
That's the only thing I do not like about the game.
But it
Very
plays
bland.
really well. It's got worker placement, area control. So there's combat at the end, and there's deck building.
Yeah.
Granted, I do feel like the deck building, the game ends right before your deck is done. Like I feel like that's the case almost every time. Hopefully with the expansion, which we don't have, that fixes it, but we'll see.
Well, my number 2 is Suburbia.
Yes.
Bezier Games.
Yes.
Love, love, love. I bought it because the box was just so intriguing. I had to have it. Just
The key word is was.
was. But I mean, I didn't know at the time. This was again several years ago. We were just getting into games. Mick always buys all the games.
Yes.
We went to a game store. We were living in Houston at the time, and I saw the box, and I just loved the way that retro looked to it. And Mick said, "Well, do you know what the game is?" I'm like, "No, I just like the box. I want it." And I don't know what it was, $40 some dollars or
It's
whatever.
about 50.
And I said, "I want it." And he said, "Are you gonna play it?" I'm like, "Yes." He said, "Okay, well, I'll go ahead and get it. I'll learn it and teach it to you."
does that when he talks, he does
that's what he said. But I just wanted it because of the box. And now they've hurt my feelings so badly. Bezier, I hope you're listening.
They did. They told you
changed
they're
the
sorry.
box.
They gave us the game.
I know they gave it to us, but the box is ugly. And if the box, if I had seen
Don't worry,
the
it's ugly
box-
on the inside too.
No, it's not. It is not ugly. It is not ugly. I love building my own little suburbia. I love having a nice little town where I've got suburbs and we got office building. We've got airport.
They said, Brazier said, look at the art in there. They
And-
told you the
and
art.
we have all
They
those
said,
good
look
things.
at the art.
I know. We got all those nice things in my town, but in Mixed Town, I like to put all the bad stuff like the cemeteries and the
I make those links.
plants,
I make those
and
links.
so that my people can go out and they can work over in his town, but then come back to a nice town where I am.
But see, I don't know how you win, because you actually say, well, I'm going to put like a little nice little yard over here, and I'm going to put
No,
this
I
over
put
here.
a school,
and
and then
I'm going
you
to put
gotta
a
have
neighborhood.
airport,
Yeah.
and-
And then she wins.
And that's how
I'm
you
like,
do
just
it.
put stuff down to make points.
You have to
Make
think
points.
city building. So anyway,
She
Suburbia,
wins.
but
She
the
wins.
box they have right now is blue. So if you're out there
She
looking
hates
for
the box.
Suburbia
She
and
hates
you
the
see a blue box, don't let the box deter you.
Yes.
Get the game.
We're gonna get you a box sleeve. Just
Yes, she hates the box.
The box is just
hates the
hideous.
box.
It's hideous.
Okay, so my number 2 is Outer Rim. Yes, that is Star Wars in a box right there. That is Star Wars in a box. Outer Rim by Fantasy Flight Games, and you basically it's a pick up and deliver. That's all. It's just pick up and deliver. Just going around the Outer Rim, just doing Star Warsy stuff.
Star
It's great
Warsy stuff.
Star Warsy stuff.
You got Mickey Mouse in your DMs.
No, I do not. No, I do not.
Star
Outer
Wars,
Rim.
everything.
Outer Rim.
This
And if you get the expansion Unfinished Business, that's even great too. It just adds on to the glory. Yes.
What does it add to the game?
As the core worlds, you get a couple of core worlds, some more ships, and some more characters that you can play. Love it.
Thank you.
Love it. Love
All
it.
right, we are finally on to our
Number
number
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yes. You guys have been waiting.
You've been
You've been
great.
patient. We've had a heckler, but that's okay.
And don't forget the giveaway for the
That's
people
coming
here.
up right after we're done.
Giveaway.
We're doing a giveaway. Number one, Marcus. Come on, hit us with a good one.
Good
All
one.
right.
Not the
Oh, I got a good one.
Okay,
I
not
got
the
a good one.
Not
I got
the
a good
one that
one.
should not be named.
I got a good one. Yes.
Anything but that, Marcus.
No.
Anything
Number
but that.
one is no, that's not terrible. I'm not- my number one is a game I'm going to be running at 6 o'clock. It is from 1992, a Reiner Knizia design. It's Modern Art,
Yes.
Okay.
the auction game.
You guys
It
have
is
to see
blinged
what Marcus did to modern art.
out.
It is amazing.
I got permission
Amazing.
from Reiner Knizia to
The
make
evil bow tie man.
Stop calling him that. Stop
It's
that.
very nice.
Spoiler alert.
He is.
I have
But
not-
the games he made are trying to break up couples. He made break up couples. The games he
You
made,
should not
break-
play Lost Cities.
he tried to break
If
up
you
folks.
have-
That's a breakup game.
Oh my God.
If you haven't decided
break 'em
who
up.
gets the
Diplomacy,
car and the
ready to
house.
play the last game
That's
together.
That's a
tough one.
breakup
But yeah,
game.
it's a beautiful game.
Modern
Yeah.
Art is the auction
I wish we
game,
should do that
and
to get divorced
for my
over.
copy, I actually commissioned 5 artists to make miniature
Which is funny, 'cause that is
paintings,
Yes.
oils and acrylics on canvas, and those are
Quiet down there.
the paintings that you're going to be auctioning off between the players. It is a fabulous game design,
Yes.
and I love it, and more people should play it.
Okay, you guys got to check out Marcus'
Yes, you do.
copy.
You gotta check it
now,
out.
for
I might
me,
have spots left.
I think it's great that Marcus has this copy, but when you have a game that you got to have 2 big cases to carry, I don't know.
I did wheel that game in on a cart.
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
You're number one.
Okay, I might get some booze in here for this one, like I have in previous selections. But when I thought about this list, I have one game that I carry everywhere, that I want to play with everyone, and I've never had a bad experience playing. And Becky is going to call me an old lady for this, but it is Dutch Blitz.
What?
I love real-time games.
How old is that game?
It was
for like 1800.
no, it came out.
It was
and
before
Becky
they
would
had-
know. She works for the game shop.
That's before they had normal.
The Romans played it back in the day.
But I love that game, and I love that it's like stressful, and it's just like exciting, and people are yelling at each other, and it's just so much fun. And I've never had a bad game of that. And
1937.
Oh my goodness.
1937.
Look up Nerds, because that's the same game. See when that one.
yeah,
Line number 10.
and you know, being part of Instagram, we've got to know people all throughout the world.
Yeah.
And different places in the world have this game, but it's named something else. And so it has been around forever, and people have played it with their families, and that's one thing that we focus on with our account is like, get your family at the table, spend time together, and that game does that. And
Yeah.
we play it all the time.
That's cool.
And I'm sure Nick is tired of playing it.
We battle all the time at that game.
I get a text message back. I got it.
All right, Sam, number 1.
My number one.
Be careful. I'm just
got a
saying.
knife.
What's the threat? Stop the
I'm just
threat.
saying.
Because I'm ready. I am ready. I am ready.
Give me a second.
Don't surrender. Don't surrender.
I'm sorry, Mick. I'm selling you out. You're going to the Bears.
Wait, I'm gonna do it like an unfortunate pause right here. I just wanted to throw out this question since you mentioned Dutch Blitz. Well, apparently a lot of people on here have not heard of it at all. You're like the only one that's mentioned it.
So good.
But someone wanted to
it's a
mention
great
if
game.
it's like Nerds.
It is.
It's exactly the same game.
I think
Oh,
it
as
is.
soon as I said Nerds, everyone's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think it is Nerds, right?
That's what it was originally.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This one's the Wish version of that.
First developed in 1600.
Okay,
Now
Sam,
you can proceed.
number 1,
The
Sam.
Kroger
My
brand Nerds.
number one.
Okay.
There's been a little build up.
This is a game where I'm actually a lot like Mick.
Okay.
This is something that, you know, it appeals to me. It's something I'm always working, striving to do better on. And I have lost so many times to my wife. And that is Kingsburg.
No.
All right. I can live with that. That's a good one.
This game is a little older, I think early 2000s. It's not nursed or nurse old, but nerd old. But Kingsburg, and this a long time ago, and it's a game that we picked up. I think my brother brought it over one time, and we ended up playing it, and we played it like over and over and over again. So you find the thing that I love dice. Dice is something that I love using as a game design element. I love playing with dice. Whatever dice is, I have dice collections. Is dice.
Dice everything.
I do. I actually have a whole wall of dice, of different colors and color coordinated too. So like Kingsburg is one of those games because what it is like you're each going to roll your dice every productive season, and there's different advisors and there's different combination of dice. So maybe like 1 and 6 makes 7, or you can have the 1 advisor or the 6 advisor. So you're trying to like finagle like who's going where, but you're also really being passive aggressive and blocking people. But you're trying to build these buildings, and at the end of every year you get attacked by goblins or whatever, and trying to do it. And so you just do that over for 5 years, and then you have the stuff. And I love Kingsburg. If you haven't tried it, as long as you're okay with the random with dice, it's actually like my number 1 game, and I recommend to anyone who's willingness to do with a little bit of the randomness to it. Like it is phenomenal. Love Kingsburg.
There's a copy for sale, like.
They
Next
had a
to
reprint.
yes, I just
Don't get the reprint. Get the first edition.
bought the reprint. What's wrong with the reprint? Don't tell me that.
First edition's better art.
That's
It's like Suburbia. First edition art's better.
oh, I mean, Coliseum's that way.
Coliseum, yeah.
No, but if you find the second edition,
Yeah.
do buy it because it has actually the expansions from the first edition that you had to buy separate, which I think to Forge a Realm is like $90 to get now.
Oh wow.
So if you don't already have it, the second edition is your best bet to get everything that you want.
Well, the one that's for sale next door is first edition, so yeah, make your choices.
See if it has the expansion in it.
All right, Nick, bring it
So,
home.
like I said in the beginning, I love all of my Return to Dark Tower games and not Return to Dark Tower games equally. I will leave work early to play this game if it's been given me an option. It is Return to Dark Tower. I don't know if anyone has played this game, but it is my favorite game. And there's some nostalgia there too, because I played Dark Tower from 1982 and with my family when I was a kid, and the game is so great. There's RP elements. You have your own hero. You're fighting this great evil that lurks in a tower. Restoration Games did a really good job in modernizing it, and the tower connects to your tablet, and you end your turn by dropping a skull in it. How badass is that? And then events happen, more monsters come out. It's a really, really fun game, and they have enough bad guys, variants of bad guys, that every game can feel different. And so it's got a lot of replayability. It is a 2.5, 3 hour game though, so expect to spend some time on it. But that's my favorite of all time. So.
Big tower.
Okay, so do I need to go next? Do you want to go next?
No, you go. Okay. You go. I'm gonna be last. I'm bringing up the last.
Okay, my number one on my list is Great Heartland Hauling Company. Yes. Thank you so much. I love this game. It's from Dice Hate Me Games. It's just a basic pick up and deliver. You are a truck driver. You're taking your goods from one place to the next, and you're picking up stuff and taking it. It's just fun. And they have cute trucks. Yeah. So that's my number one. What up? Great Heartland Hauling Company.
Oh, sorry,
Hauling Company.
It's out of print, unfortunately, though. It's out of print, so it'll be hard to find. But she loves that game. Loves
It's a great game.
At first, I thought you were going to say great.
I recommend you go out and get it.
No, that is not me.
So now it's mine. It is mine.
I think it's time for the show to be
No.
over.
Mine. My number one that I want people to play all the time from our collection
Here we go.
is a legendary, the great, the wonderful, so much fun, Terraforming Mars. There we go. Terraforming Mars by Stronghill Games.
Everything.
It is a engine builder, a tableau builder
tableau,
monster, and I love it. It's great. You're going to terraform Mars, and that's what you do.
Why are you telling me? I know. I don't want that. I want to play that. So that's
But
How
anyway,
much of Terraforming Mars are you putting on the table? Is it the base game, or have you spent like $300?
well,
on
I
the
think
classic
the
bits?
essential ones for terraforming Mars that you gotta have is the extra maps and Prelude. You gotta have that. They should put that in there anyway. That should be thrown in there. That's essential.
They just put out the big box.
That's essential. Well, yeah, but that's essential. Now, all the others, I can live without them, but they are wonderful to bring in if you want to. Venus expansion, okay. But anyway, everything else, colonies is cool. And then the last one they had with the turmoil, okay. But anyway, but not everything. But the base game, Prelude, the extra maps, and colonies, I can do that. I can definitely do that.
I have a question for Starla.
yes.
If something terrible happened, and if something happened to your game collection, would you choose to trade all of your games for cooperative games, or for just one copy of Terraforming Mars?
At that point, I'm going to go ahead and leave the hobby. It's been a nice run. You guys are wonderful people. I like you guys. I'll see you on the flip side. I'm going to leave the hobby. There we go. We're done. What?
Anyway, my number one is
Okay, you
Terraforming.
said that. I just want to thank everyone on our panel.
We're not done.
I'm thanking for their list.
Okay.
Everyone's giving their number ones, right?
Yeah.
So thank you all for your list. Did you guys enjoy those lists? Now, next up, we've got questions. At least we hope we have questions. I know we have one question in the audience. So if you have any questions for the panel, please feel free to step up and ask your questions. And we need a mic for that.
What mic do you want to use?
I think we gotta use this
You use
one.
that one? Okay, then we'll have to talk to this one.
Travel mic.
Pass that one. Okay. You can take it off the stand, Mike.
Oh.
I mean, Mike, too, Marcus. Got it.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll direct it to everybody because I'm kind of curious what you guys' thoughts are. What do you think is lacking in modern board gaming events or on social media that will attract new players to the hobby? And do you think there are things that deter new players?
Anybody want to take that one?
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
Is there a microphone?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, this one.
Oh,
Yes.
I think this was actually working out. Yeah.
Is this what's working now?
It's
Oh.
It's always been.
Your hand looks huge.
Yeah,
I know. It's like
Andre the Giant.
this is a tiny microphone. All right. So I'll talk about the things I think that deter people when it comes to the board game hobby. As a publisher, I see this a lot. It's when people go online, they don't know that because we have a culture in the board gaming world, right? And the more we get into it, the more we get into the culture, the more we get into the terminologies, right? Like, oh, it's just a deck builder. You're like, you do what now? Like, you build a deck at your house? That's weird. Like, why would you do that? And you're like, yeah, I do it for fun. No. Yeah, like, and so you're like, what? And it's like, oh, I take that game. Take what again? That. What's that? That. You know, so there's a lot of terminology we use sometimes in the board gaming world. So if you're talking to people who are not into board games, try to look the game from their perspective and try not to use terminology that will be like, oh, worker placement. You take your things. It's a resource. Like, resource gathering is fairly generic. That'd be like a term you could use. And so that's another thing. And number two, don't put down people for the games they play. So if they play Monopoly, don't you dare. Don't you dare start trashing Monopoly just because. No.
Playful banter, y'all.
No, I get it. I get it. Monopoly, like, as a game design, I'm like, it's rough, like, in my opinion. But it's a good game for a 5-year-old or even a 10-year-old or someone who's just like brand new. Like, what do they play with their family when they're young? It's nostalgia. I play certain games that probably are not good, but nostalgia keeps me playing. You know, it's just one of those things. And so when someone has a game, be like, awesome, you play Monopoly? That's great. What about if you took the car around the track? What if you're picking stuff up and dropping it off to make money instead of just going around and buying properties? We can play Great Heartland Express over here, right? You know, like, you can find games that like to add on to their knowledge, what they're already familiar with. And I think that's what we need to do as in the board game hobby is be okay with people who play mainstream games and then try to talk to them in a way that makes sense.
I'll just add on to that real quick is in today's age, it's very easy to be divisive. It's very easy to use your language to bring yourself up or put someone else down or whatnot. And to tack on to what Sam said is most of us in this room grew up on Monopoly and Yahtzee. All of these other games didn't exist or they weren't in our country. So we have to really, when someone goes, oh, you play board games, you like Yahtzee, it's not that you say, yes, you did play board games, you did play Yahtzee, and you have been introduced to other things. You know, it's no different than saying, you know, like, oh, you watch TV, you watch Gunsmoke. You know, like, it's just something that you grew up on. Just because you don't watch it now doesn't mean it wasn't good back then. So that'll help. I think that'll help bring more people in, because it's daunting when you walk into a game store and there's 10,000 games, and the one that you're used to. And the one you're used to is Yahtzee, you know. So, you know, I think that's a very good point that Sam made, and I just wanted to add on to that. So,
I have something I'd like to say on that. I think that to bring more people in, it's all about awareness. A lot of people still do not know these games exist or this hobby exists. I've talked to so many people. What? Settlers of Catan, we still say Settlers of Catan, which is Catan. Settlers of Catan or whatever, they're like, what is that? And I'm thinking, how could you not know this game's been around like 25 years? Some people still don't know, and it's just awareness, and I think we just need to make more people aware, and so we like doing that. Yeah. And as far as Monopoly goes, the confession is, before we got into this hobby, I think I own like 23 different versions of Monopoly.
Right.
We still own that, yeah, right now. So that's it for me. Any other questions? Oh, you want to? Oh.
You guys have talked for a while and things are stacking up. So
Oh, wow, okay.
I would hope you guys stop.
What's going on?
Stop. Just turn. Next time, just turn off the mic. Just like.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll pick one that's more relevant to right now, and we'll see if we can get to the other ones. So So the first one was from Michael S. He asked, did you all bring any particular games to Nuke-Con that you were hoping to play this weekend? This applies to everyone.
Well, I think for us is that we're gonna do Marvel Champions. Definitely gonna do that, and then I wanted so bad to finally play Cat in the Box. And Tony, our sign guy's here. Tony's our sign guy. He did all these signs right here. We're seeing that's Tony. If you need a sign, find Tony, definitely. But Tony had Cat in the Box, and he said, "Hey, I'll teach you." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, you have it, and you'll teach it to us? Cool." So it's like we did the whole 5 players, and let me tell you, family, Cat in the Box is for real. You know, I know it's the hot game of Gen Con, or one of the hot games of Gen Con. If you say, is the hype real? The hype is real. That is such a fun game. So we brought it. We got our copy. It's here, but it is. I think that was really good. You know, and I didn't bring anything, but you know, it's just finding different games to play. That's cool.
All right, Brand, you have any more? Okay, we have one more question in the audience because we're getting low on time right now. So let's go.
This is an either-or question. I don't know if it's on. A favorite retro game, like Dutch Blitz, or a game that you personally doesn't hit your zone, but you think is an amazing game design.
I have an answer.
I already hit those
I
on
have
my
an
list.
answer.
You already got one?
I gotta think of the name of the game. Oh, so.
Pass it over here. I don't know.
So the game isn't my style, but it is a fantastic game. It is a very, very beautiful artwork game, but it's Calico. It's not for me, but I know admittedly that it's a great game. Like
There's pink in it, he doesn't want to play it.
That's not true. Starcadia Quest has pink.
Any other questions?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for the list. It's definitely good content for those that are beginners and would like to learn more about the hobby. Which fictional character would you like to play against or be on your team in one of those 10 games that you have mentioned?
That's within the game itself, or just in general?
In general.
Oh, okay.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. To be on my team. To clarify. I won't play against
To be
you.
on my team.
No, you'd be like, I win.
Yeah.
I win.
Idris Elba, sorry.
That's
Fictional. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
just because he was
Yeah, the character he plays in Thor.
No.
Heimdall.
Heimdall, that's the one. Yeah.
Again,
You want him. You don't need him.
this is more Disney.
There we go.
All right, well, there's a lot.
There's one more.
Quality pick. Yeah.
Good ones. Right on this side. So let's do. A Frank said, favorite 2-player game to play with your partner or best friend? Applies to everyone.
No.
With the caveat that all 2-player games are divorce simulators. 7 Wonders Duel. The very best game. I've already told you. I've already told you that every 2-player game is a divorce simulator, and you need to play that one.
If anybody hasn't played it yet, Sobek from Panasource Games is a really good 2-player game.
I think for us, Tanja.
You have to love her honesty, though.
Number 2 is Patchwork. I own 3 versions.
Yes. No. Unless you take the stuff I need, to complete my thing.
There's a
That one actually is a divorce simulator. I take this, you take that, you take that.
Dividing out your Beanie Babies.
There is a game coming to Kickstarter, I believe, this week, and it's called Turf War, and you are actually building your own lawn to make a better lawn than your opponent. So you're putting different plants on the lawn. You're putting statues on your lawn, decorations, and you're trying to woo all the neighbors. And it is just so cute. And when you're home, you're in your house. When you're gone, you're in your car. You have your garage where you put your discard pile. I mean, it's just so cute, and the cards are like this big. They're like
They're
so
just
tiny.
like 2x2
so cute.
cards. They'll fit in your pocket. Little
But
minis.
2-player.
Cards.
Okay, everybody, we're going to wrap up the questions. We have our games giveaway now, and so, oh, we got to do the stream first. Okay.
We should have done it.
Oh, we got to. Oh, let's end it. Well, thank you guys so much, and everybody watching. This is a live stream, so everything you see is live. It's live, and so we're working our way. We're working our way through all the bumps and all that stuff. So thank you for being patient.
Different.
Yeah, and
I hope you love the list.
I hope you love it. And also, if we didn't answer your question, we'll get it on Ask OFPG at some point. But thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for coming. Oh, and we have people here who came from a long way, and yes, to visit. Well, that's a long way too. Yeah. So we've got some friends of OFPG family from Kansas City here. We also have a family from California and from Des Moines, Iowa, which is not that far, but it's far.
Des Moines, Iowa. Just an hour so away from here. But it's an hour.
It's 2 hours. It's 2 hours. So we had a lot of people that came out, and everybody who came in the audience.
In Europe.
Not Minnesota, not Des Moines, Minnesota.
We appreciate everybody coming
Des Moines,
out,
Iowa.
and
Is there
so
one?
this is the end of the stream. Thanks to our panel for coming out and sharing your list with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. And we just appreciate everybody coming out. Anything else you want to say?
That's about it.
All right, we're going to wrap it up and say bye to everybody. And what's our ending? If you're looking for Our Family Plays Games, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on YouTube.
Right here.
And if you're in Omaha, Nebraska,
That's local family.
you can find us on Cox Channel 22, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. and Tuesdays at 4:30 p.m.
Family, thank you for coming out. Just love y'all coming out and being with us. Yes, we love it. And just keep looking to ask OFPG questions, because some of these questions that you put, we'll probably be answering them on the show. But hey, we got a show coming up tomorrow. Make sure you see it.
Yes.
And now, keep with the comments. Keep with everything that you comment, because you know we love it. But there's one thing, and I say one thing we want you to always know. We love you.
Bye,
y'all.
everybody.